Amit, my first question to you is there was a time when domestic cricket in India was the only thing which we looked at for getting back to Indian side. We are parallelly having the Irani Trophy running where Vidarbha is looking to win this tournament. And we find not a single player from Vidarbha in Indian side for last few years, if I'm not too wrong. The rest of India also, Manav Sutar, your favorite, and Abhimanyu Ishwaran. Apart from these two, we don't see anyone coming knocking the doors also. It was not very long that Saurav Ganguly scored a magnificent 100 into Irani Trophy 2006 to come back to Indian side in South Africa. So my question to you is that on one hand, selectors are saying, and even as late as the Australian two selectors said that no, Rohit and Kohli have to play, for which they played one match in the Ranji. And before that, 12 years, Virat Kohli had not played a ODI, a Ranji Trophy match. So, isn't it a hypocrisy that the selectors are saying that you play Ranji and come back like in England, you play county, in Australia, you play Sheffield Shield, you have to play somewhere to create a red ball or a white ball match fitness. And on the other hand, there's no importance given to the Irani Trophy. So what's your take on this dichotomy of domestic structure problem in India?
Look, the Irani Trophy this year probably is wrongly scheduled. This is my first take. I'm not I'm not a big fan of having this important domestic matches right in the middle of some kind of international test series, that too at home. But again, it's not about me being a fan of it or not. It's about how international cricket and domestic cricket are being scheduled these days. But looking at the way the match is going on, I was just following in bits and pieces whatever time I have got. I think the selectors are trying to kind of have a kind of second set of players ready in case there is some kind of injury to maybe, let's say, KL Rahul, or maybe some of the important players. Maybe see Rishabh Pant is have a backup in Dhruv Jural. Now all of a sudden in the next match, if God forbid Dhruv Jural gets injured, who takes up the keeper slot? So maybe for that reason they are trying to kind of test out some of the players to have a reserve in case of any contingency. So those are things that they are looking at. And also, you know what, whatever cricket I have seen in the last few days, especially in Irani Trophy, the quality of cricket is not up to the standard. The pitches are, I don't see the pitches are having enough juice either for the fast bowlers, or enough turn. Also, I could not see. Manav Sudhar, yes, he is one of the guys to watch out for in the near future. He was also a disappointment. Apart from many others, though Anshul Kamboj kind of picked up 4 wickets, I still didn't feel that he's kind of an international standard bowler as of now.
I just interrupt you, Amit. What Sudeep was saying, that Irani Trophy and Dalit Trophy were the tournaments from where even 20 years back, we knew that this player playing Irani. See, what would have happened? Someone got injured or out, loss of form, he goes back to Irani or Dalit, again scores 100 and came back. It even happened with Riddhiman Saha a number of times when he was injured, when Dinesh Karthik and Parthiv Patel were his competitors. Even till 2012, 2013, this was the route which we followed. Now, we play Irani, we play Dalit like Abhimanyu Ishwaran, although you may not agree. He scores tons of runs in Ranji. He scores at 8,000, almost close to 9,000 runs now in domestic cricket, and he doesn't get a chance. On the other hand, Sai Sudarshan, with an average of 38, gets a chance. Just because he has got an IPL contract. I'm not going to the comparisons, but do you think that on the BCCI asking people to play domestic and not rewarding them? Karan Nair was an exception. He had to be rewarded because of the huge backlash. But what is the general take now that in BCCI wants these domestic tournaments to flourish? Asking people to come. I was seeing about 1,000 people watching, which is a very poor show anyways. I've watched Ranji Final in Eden Gardens, about 30,000 people. So what is your take on these tournaments, and what do you feel is Irani Trophy going the right way, as Sudeep said, or Dalit Trophy going the right way in pushing the cricketers to the next level? So, the way BCCI is handling this, it seems that Irani and Dalit Trophy are grade C tournaments where you score 200, it's still not taken into consideration. So what's your take on the gap between the first class cricket and test cricket?
Yeah, look, when I was also young, this was of paramount importance. If I can remember correctly, many stalwarts, played Dilip and Irani Trophy regularly to be in touch. But if you see in the last maybe 10-15 years, you tell me like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, who are our stalwarts, right? After Sachin retired, how many times these guys have played? I mean, forget about Dilip Irani. They haven't played even Vijay Hazare. They haven't even played Syed Mustaq Ali. So, they are mainly focusing on the international matches, and apart from that, also we have the IPL. And they are very, they are right in doing so. I mean, see, जो दिखता है वो बेचता है. I mean, this is what I personally feel. I mean, IPL is a lucrative tournament where people watches. I mean, millions of people watches. And if you see how many people turn up for Irani and let's say Irani and this Dulip Trophy. No one. I mean, how many? You can probably count the number of people who are there. Maybe the cameraman and the support staffs. They fill most of the stadium. So see, players will have to be kind of motivated to kind of play this play these tournaments, right? I mean, this is something that we have to look
So,
into.
according to you, where are these, especially for red ball, because Irani and Delhi are both 5-day formats. So, where do you think our next generation of cricketers will come? If BCCI says them to play and they do not play, of course, they are not in a position to disobey now. So, where is the next bench strength coming? I can understand that said Mustafa. Mustaq Ali tournament and Vijay Hazare for white ball and T20. But where will the bench strength come from red ball? That is my question to you now, the last part.
Yeah, see, these are the tournaments, right? Apart from the Ranji, these are the two domestic tournaments that actually helps to build cricketers. But looking at the way how things shaped up, I mean, I followed the Dilip Trophy as well as this Irani Trophy. Believe me, I haven't found out a single guy, or I cannot point out a single cricketer which that actually looked ready to me for international cricket. This is plain and pretty simple for me. I mean, Atharva Taide, I was just looking at the numbers. He scored I think tons of runs for Vidar. But you know what? He scored a century also in this Irani Trophy first innings. But if you look at his technique is pretty awkward. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I could be wrong. Also, I'm not a kind of a technical expert in saying this, but he has so many technical flaws that I was noticing. But he scored a century, so they are not. And you have pointed out that Sai Sudarshan is picked ahead of Abhimanyu Vishwaran, though Abhimanyu Vishwaran has a better average. He has scored tons of runs in Ranji Trophy, but can you justify his selection by saying that some of the important matches, how many runs he has scored? Today was a great opportunity for him to kind of score at least 100. Forget about a double 100, just 100 in a chasing cause. I think 342 these days can be chased at any point of time, whatever the pitch is. 342 or 345, whatever the target is for rest of India, they can easily chase it down. Rajat Patidar, he is the captain of RCB. If he kind of, I'm telling you one fact, like if he scores a ton and tomorrow, if rest of India wins against Vidarbha, he will be in the reckoning in the next series. I'm pretty sure about it. So you have to take and grab these opportunities when opportunity is knocking at your door. So Abhimanyu, you should forget about Abhimanyu and anyone who is able to win this important and give the knockout punches to the opponents, they will be picked in the coming years. Having said that, why Sai Sudarshan is picked ahead of Abhimanyu Vishwaran? Because Sai Sudarshan has been a proven performer in the IPL. He has scored tons of runs, and he has actually grabbed the
But
attention
then
of
IPL is a
selectors.
white ball
I
format,
agree.
and you're looking at a
I,
red ball format.
yes, I agree. See, you cannot justify selection in all the places. For Sai Sudarshan, it was the opposite. I know what Gambhir said before he came into the coaching role. He made this statement that our test team will be built around the players who play or who prioritize Ranji matches, who prioritize the Trophy, Irani Trophy. Secondly, he said that the T20 team will be the international T20 team will be picked from the IPL and Syed Mustaq Ali also to a certain extent, and Vijay Hazare will be considered for the ODI format. I do remember these statements from Gambhir. But you tell me, like, I mean, if Abhimanyu Ishwaran would have been picked and he would have played in England at number 3, uh, do you guarantee, or let's say, base? I mean, I think the question is for all of us. I mean, do you guarantee after looking at his performance in the important matches that he would have done a better job than Sai Sudarshan? We cannot guarantee, right? I mean, Sai Sudarshan has been given a chance. He scored probably few runs in UK. He just got one chance in the first innings in West Indies where he failed. Let him take maybe another couple of chances, or maybe in the South Africa series also, let him be given one last chance. If he is not able to kind of improve on his spin technique or spin playing technique, maybe Abhimanyu Ishwaran or whoever it is who is performing better, maybe a Rajat Patidar, if he scores a century tomorrow in a winning cause, he can be picked also. I mean, there is, see, for me, I mean, you know what, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Gautam Gambhir, that I will kind of always kind of say only good things about Gambhir. But one thing for sure, that Gambhir, whatever will do, he will do for the betterment of Indian cricket team. I personally don't know what kind of politics he's playing with players. Yes, Shreyas Iyer was not picked in the Asia Cup. It was a wrong move. But Shreyas Iyer not picked in the UK tour for Test cricket, I don't still think that is a wrong move. Anyways, we'll not go into that selection dilemma as of now. But whatever Gambhir will do, personally for me, irrespective of any political agenda or whatever it is, he will I mean he will try to make sure that India wins. At the end of the day, if India loses, I think he's a very passionate person at heart. I don't know about Ajit Agarkar.
So
I have seen Ajit
my
Agarkar play.
question to you was basically the domestic circuit, is it losing significance in producing cricketers to the next level? That was my question. We went to Gambhir.
Yes, yes. No, I understand what you are saying. But you tell me, I mean, these tournaments are important. But do you see any player coming up the ranks through these tournaments? Just
So
tell me one
you
thing.
are saying Dalip Trophy and Irani Trophy do not hold any significance now. So it is the IPL contracts or the players in IPL which are basically going to take
It
the
holds
players.
it holds significance, but if you are not see, you sometimes yeah, from IPL itself, you can see a spark or the X factor in a player which can actually tell that this player can be I mean can be a future star in the red ball cricket also. If you see Virat Kohli also, Virat Kohli was initially being drafted in the Indian side as a white ball player. Later on, he kind of emerged himself as a proper red ball cricketer. So you have to adapt. And I'm not saying that I mean, these tournaments are losing significance. I'm just saying that players are not coming through the ranks by playing these tournaments because of the quality. Maybe these
So
players are more keen on.
if you were to summarize, you're saying that IPL holds the key to red ball cricket also. That is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, to a certain extent, absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Amit. We're running short of time because the last question I'm going to have is a very controversial one. We'll start with Sudeep. Open to all, Ayan and Amit will come in. Sudeep, my question is that today's selection probably marks the beginning of the end of two of the greatest ODI players ever to have played the game, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. When Gautam Gambhir became a coach in June 24, there were a lot of, especially the Western and Eastern lobby said that he will try to get rid of this OT, the over 30 players. So actually, Ashwin went off, Kohli and Rohit went off the test matches. Why and what happened behind, we don't know. But the fact remains that three of the better players of the Indian side who carried the tide for a decade, they went off. Cheteshwar Pujara retired, but that was mainly, I don't think that was due to, maybe due to it. And the selectors didn't want to look back at him. Ajinkya Rahane might follow soon. And now we are looking at a place we never thought that there will be days when the questions will be asked on Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli in the side. I mean, till yesterday night, it was decided, and most of the websites say that Rohit is going to leave the side. Today morning, the situation started changing, and then Ajit Agarkar, again, is one of his famous one-liners, said that we're looking to build the team for 27. And all format captain. That he very specifically said in the press conference that it is difficult for a coach to handle three captains. which means that there was an input from Gautam Gambhir, which he agreed. And we come to know that Ajit Agarkar doesn't have any personality of his own. My question to you is, again, back to, is Gautam Gambhir looking more of a Greg Chappell now? And no, and if India wins the 27 World Cup without Gambhir and Kohli, very good. I mean, as Amayan rightly said, I also personally feel till 27, Gavaskar and all of us said, looking at them, they're two of the greatest players ever in the history of the game. But Rohit Sharma is looking unfit. And Virat Kohli, of course, with age, the reflex is coming down. We have seen that in red ball. My question is, was it a ceremonious decision to give them Ajit Agarkar said that their performance will now be reviewed as a player. They don't have a cushion of a captain. And they have exited from T20 together, they exited from test matches together. And now the only thing left with them is the ODI, which we don't play at all. We play 8 to 9 ODIs, we play 35 T20s. So do you think, very systematically, loosely, I'm not blaming anyone, very loosely, is it a way to have a team like Greg Chappell wanted to have, not a Saurav Ganguly, not a difficult customer, Shubman Gill, jisko jo bolenge wahi karenge. Is it a way of things to come in Indian cricket, or do you think this transition was inevitable?
Yeah, see, the thing is that, it is a bit surprising, this decision, so all of a sudden removing Rohit Sharma, from the captaincy, because if you look at his past records, the past 3 ICC tournaments, they have won, out of 24 of the 26 matches, they have won, under his captaincy. So it was a bit, having said that, of course, he's not getting younger. He's 38, and by the time, the 2027 World Cup is being played, he will be 40. So I think the message is loud and clear, Rohit Sharma, either has to perform, extraordinarily to stay in contention in the ODI side, or, he will be, just the cushion of captaincy there, the selectors have removed. Because as long as he was the captain, even if he failed, he would have played, carried on playing. But now the selectors are, I think, looking
So
for
do you think, is it a way for Gautam Gambhir to manage the team like Greg Chappell, the way he
no,
did
he has,
he tried to do? Or do you think these two players anyways would have phased out? Great players,
in
but
any
anyway
case,
would have phased out.
the way they were, the retired from the test cricket, these 3 greats, that was very, it looked a very bit unceremonious to me, actually, because, it's happened all of a sudden, and if you treat, players of the caliber of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma like this, it's just a matter of time they will also shunt off.
You don't get this players overnight. I mean, that's for
Yeah.
sure. You don't get a
If
Virat Kohli overnight. You don't get him
And
overnight.
if this is the kind they behave, with players like of this caliber, it's a matter of time they will shunt out Shubman Gill anytime, at the drop of the hat, you know. So this is
So
the thing now.
that is of course
That is
there.
the
Yeah,
Gambhir
Indian
era, but
cricket
that
is
is a
no.
separate issue.
And
I'm not
Gambhir,
going into.
yes. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not getting
So
into
do
it.
you think that the transition was inevitable for both Kohli and Rohit?
Maybe what Ajit Agarkar is saying, that the we are playing very less number of ODIs now, and so now
ODIs.
he wants to give Shubman Gill a space, a space, so that he can
Yeah, to build the team. To build the team.
gradually
Gradually.
mature as a ODI captain by
Yes,
the time the World Cup comes.
correct.
So logically it
Comes.
sounds
Yeah.
okay. But having said that, let's see. I think, but having said that, the removing Rohit, and Kohli, one thing is clear. See, they are not in the scheme of the selectors for the 2027 World Cup. It's very clear. The message is loud and clear. Now, it all
I think the
depends on
message
how,
is clear. Yeah.
and it all depends on how they perform in they will get very limited opportunities, because hardly any ODIs are being played
That will go
nowadays.
against them. Yeah. They are
Yeah.
37, 38, and
So,
it will go against
so
them.
they will have very limited opportunities to prove themselves again,
Correct. Very true. So you were saying that it is a situation which presented themselves in such a way that it helps Gambhir to eliminate them also.
Yeah. The lesser number of ODIs now playing, so they have a very sound logic now, for shunting
Correct.
out
So it
Rohit.
helps Gambhir. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
see, next year we are playing, I think, 11 ODIs and
Uh,
maybe 20 ODIs will play in
uh,
27 before the World Cup. So
and
only
it's a,
27. And in 27, obviously, one will be 40 and one will be 39. So
39. So
anyways, they'll be very, very old.
very difficult to have. I don't see them, playing the World Cup 2027. It's very difficult
I
at this
think the
point.
I think the moment Rohit Sharma lost his form against Australia, and the moment Virat Kohli gave up his captaincy, I think the seeds were sown basically. So
And
as the
with the, at 38 and 37, you don't have that kind of reflex. Although there is a news, I just saw some time back,
yeah,
that
yeah,
Rohit
yeah.
has
I
lost,
also saw
10
10 kgs.
kgs,
Yeah,
in the
I was
recent,
about to
in
tell that to
the
Ayan also
couple
that Rohit had lost a
couple of
lot of
months.
weight. Yeah.
There has lost 10 kgs, just to stay fit, but at 38, it's a bit difficult. But let's see how he
I think in
performs,
Indian cricket now is almost going the Australian way. If you are over
and
34, you are
uh,
almost dead.
uh,
Almost dead now. So
and
that is what is
Australian
happening.
pitches, it will be more challenging for
More
these two.
challenging, yeah. I think the Ravindra Jadeja thing, which we are not discussing, although they are giving up logic that Akshar Patel will be same as Jadeja, but I think
Yeah,
they are shutting down door on Jadeja in ODIs
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah,
Very,
yeah,
very, I
definitely.
think looks likely that they've
Yeah,
shut down. They're saying thank you for your service in test, but they've
yeah.
shut down the door on ODIs.
So
Basically,
removal of
Jadeja,
Rohit
KL
has
Rahul.
also it's a handshake, a golden handshake type of
I
thing,
think,
from what.
I am not sure. We'll talk again. I think the Australia series would be the last series. My feeling is that we'll see Rohit and Virat in the last series.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
after that, we have a triangular, I think, in New Zealand or England, I think, which is at home. After that, we don't have any ODIs at all this year, maybe next year. So looks very unfortunate. It will be if it is the end of the era of two of the greatest ODI players in the last 20 years the world has seen. Thank you, Sudeep. We'll come back to you. I on the same thing to you. Very contentious, very difficult decision when you phase out a person like Virat Kohli from ODI, where he has got 5,200, 5,100, arguably the greatest ODI batsman of our times. I mean, keeping Viv Richards in mind, who is my personal favorite, Virat Kohli goes down in history as one of the greatest ever to have played the game. So for Rohit Sharma. So do you think this is a mere coincidence or very well planned out, orchestrated by a very shrewd Gautam Gambhir to have his road very clear as a Great Chapel 2?
Okay, so I don't agree with that Greg Chappell part because I think Greg Chappell had, the main contentious decision that Chappell had taken was the removal of Saurav Ganguly. And that I felt was something which was vastly more unfair than what has been done here because Saurav had just scored a century against Zimbabwe. And the only failing that he had as a captain ever was the drawn series against Pakistan. 2005, the series was 1-1. And there he received a lot of flack. And he actually said that अरे हमने तो सीरीज हारा नहीं है, we have not lost the series, we have lost at Bangalore, but it's a drawn series. However, Greg Chappell had an issue with attitude, only attitude, because in terms of pure cricketing sense, Saurav Ganguly should not have been dropped. That is a big difference here. However, I think Rahul, Virat Kohli has had a very poor run in Test cricket. He has been given a long rope for a long time.
Yeah, we have discussed this
29
a
or
long time
30 or
back.
something,
Yes.
right? So where are you?
30.1, 30.1.
Yes, but then so where does he get a place in the team? You tell me. How is he getting a place in the team?
He has been
If you
given
are
an
averaging,
extremely long rope in
so
Test
then
match.
why are we
Extremely long
crying
rope.
about his being? He should have been dropped.
No, that is in Test. This is ODI. I'm
Yes,
talking of ODI.
ODI, I do not think he has been. I think there is a very good chance that he might
That he will,
play in the 27 World Cup also.
so for Kohli, you
Yes,
are saying he might
yes,
play
I
for
feel
India.
if he remains fit.
And
If
he
he
will be
remains
39.
fit,
He will be
doesn't
39
matter. I do not think that matters because you see, Jadeja is having the form of his life at the moment,
at
right?
36.
And there is no sort of inkling that he will be dropped from the Test team. Virat, if he continues good form in Australia, if he demonstrates that he has that fire in him, that is very important, right? I do
That
not
is the
think he
problem
was.
because we don't have ODIs that much. It is
Yeah,
T20
that
and
is
Test.
there. But
So
see, Virat
the whole
Kohli
for a
has.
37-year-old only playing 8 international matches, it
I- Well,
normally
but see, he's
tapers
good.
you
He
off.
plays IPL all the time. He's pretty successful in IPL. I mean, he's never a great T20 batsman at all. I think the ODI is really his cup of tea. And as you say, I totally agree that I think certainly from India, he has been India's best ever batsman in ODI. I do not have doubts about that because the way he has finished matches, I think even Sachin Tendulkar, not even Tendulkar is not
No.
comparable to
He's
him.
ahead of Tendulkar.
Not
There's no
comparable. He's
doubt about
definitely
it.
ahead of Tendulkar. So there, I believe if he remains fit, And if he performs
And
in
his,
Australia,
his hunger, if he has got a hunger.
that I think is very competitive as a cricketer. He is
But
generally
the
very drawn
way
out.
he retired from Test cricket was emotional. I thought it was a little emotional and maybe I don't
It
know.
should have been, if you ask me, it should have been dropped.
Dropped. Yeah, I also personally feel it
Dropped,
should have been
not
dropped.
captains. He should
He
have been
was
dropped.
he was given a too long a
See,
road. Too long a
see,
road.
I'll tell you what Amit was saying, right? These two players never played the Indian domestic cricket.
Never,
So
never.
remember, Dhoni started this superstar culture in cricket where whatever, essentially, accountability was lost.
Lost.
Right?
Correct.
You keep on failing in as a captain, you will be given continue,
No,
right?
Dhoni carried a negative
And
culture. There's no doubt
Kohli
about it.
continued that. Absolutely continued that. Where I mean, the performance slightly improved abroad. With respect to Dhoni's appalling performance, it was slightly better, but much worse than Ganguly or even Dravid. Much worse.
Correct.
I can show you
Correct.
records. You do
Yeah,
not
yeah, sure.
confuse Kohli's records in at home. They are not to be confused. I mean, you cannot, compare the two. Right? He might be India's most successful captains, but 80% of his wins have been at home.
At
Okay.
home.
So that way, I think Kohli, his removal from Test cricket it was deserved, completely deserved.
So
Rohit,
now
on
in
the other hand,
ODI, in ODI.
yeah, ODI, I do not think, I see nothing has happened. He's continued the way he was.
So
If he
yeah,
displays fitness, if he shows that, he plays well at Australia, I think, he plays IPL. He continues good form. He has 2 more IPLs before the World Cup.
but because
So
he's
he will
37
continue.
and only
I don't think that is a
IPL
factor,
and
if you ask me.
83 matches. See, you
I
need
don't
match
think
practice
that's a
also.
factor.
You
Yeah, I
need
know, but then
numbers.
everybody will not play, no? I mean, so Indian not playing ODIs means none of the players get to play ODIs. It's just not Kohli, right? So what Kohli will be missing out will be your
No. There will
T20s
be
and Test cricket.
8 out of 11 players in ODI team play T20 also. That is not played.
Yeah, but
So,
T20 he will play IPL, right? I mean, international T20, how many matches are there? IPL, there are many more matches, right? And he's playing. If he has a very bad IPL, that might be a problem. If he has a very poor IPL in 26 or he gets injured,
so you are
because
saying Virat Kohli still a starter for you in 27. Still a
absolutely.
starter.
If he continues
It is.
to be in form, if he plays the IPL, see what age is a number. I strongly believe that as a
But now
philosophy in
in
life.
cricket, as we are seeing in Indian cricket, 34 you are dead. 33,
Where
34 you are dead.
no, but that is because. No, but can you tell me examples where people have shown good form and still been dropped? I don't find examples. I find Dhoni playing like
No, I'm talking
unendingly.
now.
He's playing.
The
Yeah,
Gambhir culture. The
but
Gambhir culture.
where do you see players who have been dropped in spite of playing well? I don't. I mean, Hanuma Vihari was dropped. He was not that old. He was very mysteriously dropped. I don't know why.
That's
Karun
another
Nair,
mystery of Indian
whatever.
cricket.
There's
Yeah.
a mystery of it. But then you show me examples where people who have been dropped because of their age. I don't feel that. I think we are being too generous on Kohli and Rohit both.
I also
Rohit
think, I have always been
had
saying this.
big,
Test matches, he should have been
so
dropped long back.
right. And Rohit, you're saying this is news to me. I didn't know this that he had dropped 10 kgs. Very good. But if he shows that, so I do not think he should have remained captain. Absolutely not. Because as a player itself, I mean, he's not certain, right? Because at the way he looked, at least in the last series that he played, he was not looking like a cricketer. He might have improved. So let him prove himself. Let him go to Australia. He's again a phenomenally good ODI
Does it
batsman.
surprise you? Runners up in 50 over, T20 champion, ICC Champions Trophy winner, and then you are dropped as a captain. This is one of the most unceremonious exits.
Yeah, but you have to sort of also take many things into account, right? I mean, he was not having the most glorious, run with the bat.
That
Yes,
in Test
India
match, not
won.
in ODI. In ODI, he
ODIs
was
is
Champions
also
Trophy, he played the
okay.
best,
He
one of the
played,
finest innings.
yeah, one innings was very good, but I don't think he played extremely consistently. One,
I
I
mean,
think
in
one,
white ball cricket,
he's good.
I think
I don't deny
none
that.
of
Yeah,
India's captains have been removed.
But then the problem again, I'm reiterating again, Rahul, is that physically he was not looking like a cricketer, right? He was looking sloppy. And in
So
one
you were
day, getting
saying
to dive
Kohli will
around.
play 27, which I also feel Rohit is a
Can,
problem. Rohit is a
can
problem.
you imagine Rohit Sharma diving and saving a boundary? Has he done that for the last 1 or 2 years? I do not recall. Right? I do not recall. So if he has shed 10 kgs, if he continues with the same rich vein of form as he did in the Champions Trophy, also I don't think Champions Trophy was the best in his career. He did play a couple of good innings, but if he plays well in Australia, he can play in the World Cup, but not as captain. I think time had come to remove him from captaincy because physically, I don't think he was looking that he was a certainty for even ODIs. Irrespective of the fact, as a batsman, he's extremely good. And I think the team can use him. If he can dive to save boundaries, if he can convert twos into threes for long
So
innings.
most of the people are saying the same thing, that Kohli, yes, Rohit Sharma, no.
Maybe. No, I'm not saying no. I think if he
Okay.
has shed 10 kgs, if he performs well at Australia, he can be certainly in for the World Cup in 27. Because again, for Rohit also, the ODI remains his best format.
Okay, one thing
No
you
doubt.
tell me, I'll come back to Sudeep and Ayan on this. If Rohit and Virat are within brackets unceremoniously asked to leave, who are the two players who will play in this 27 World Cup in their places? One is Shreyas Iyer, the other one.
Surely Shreyas Iyer will be there.
The other one.
I think, see,
I don't think Yashasvi Jaiswal is equivalent to Rohit Sharma now. And ODI.
No, but
No.
it's probably tough. But yes, you see, generally, see, again, the IPL will dictate a lot of things if the players play well in the IPL. See, that way, if you think of it, Sai Sudarshan has an average of 60. His average in
IPL.
the limited format of the game is 60. Whereas
I am
this thing
just
in the
looking
first
at
class
the
is 40.
substitutes, because
So
the World Cup is in South Africa, whether it is a bouncy wicket like Australia.
No,
square
that
up
is
the
a problem,
wicket
actually.
hard.
So
So
that I think maybe both Virat and Rohit can be drafted in because of their batting experiences. Because see, Rohit is a fantastic four hitter. So even if he cannot run those fast singles or twos or threes and all that, once he gets set, he's one of the most efficient boundary hitters I think that has ever played the game. Because typically, if you see the way he phases his innings, right,
because
the
I mean
first
everything
50
is
runs is
fine.
slow. If you think of
Yeah.
it, first 50 runs is slow. After that, he accelerates in a crazy fashion, right? You would probably see him like 50 in 70 balls and then 130 in 110
Thank you.
balls.
Thanks, Ayan. We're running
Right?
really